Ben, great to have you on the World Literature Podcast. Very warm welcome and congratulations on the book being published.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here. Thanks for having me on the show.
My pleasure. So, could you begin by just telling us a bit about the book, why you think people might be interested in reading it?
Yeah, so the book is called And So I Took Their Eye. It's actually, as this is a video, I can show a copy here, but it comes out on July the 17th with Bridge House, who are a UK indie press. And it's a collection of 10 short stories that are interlinked. So even though it is a short story collection, there is kind of a narrative thread that like runs through them, and they're all roughly built together around this idea of revenge, or more an eye for an eye. And they follow that thread throughout, but kind of address it in different ways, and the different ways that that shows itself in different societies and cultures, and the ramifications of that. And so it expands across the globe. We start in Guatemala, but it goes to the UK. We go to Italy. One's set in Bolivia, and then it kind of goes through the Bay Area and then back to Guatemala at the end.
Great, thank you. I'm sure that sounds fascinating to anybody who's interested in kind of world literature and particularly, I don't know if there's a name for it, but it's sort of fiction that moves between numerous locations, of which I think there's a lot now. Having said that, yours does, I think, some quite unique things, which we'll get onto later. Could you start by providing a bit of background for the book then? I mean, as we've just said, it moves between all of these places, but it begins and indeed ends in Guatemala. So could you talk about your connection with Guatemala, maybe some of the other places that appear, and how does that come out in the short stories?
Yeah, I mean, for the majority of the stories in the book, they're very rooted in experience,
Mm,
either things that happened to me or things that I was witnessed or well was around, let's say. And so a lot of it was brought from moments in my life.
mm,
Guatemala is the central kind of country, I would say, in the book, and it's somewhere that I lived for a number of years. So I actually, my connection with Guatemala started a longer time ago when I was an undergraduate in the UK, and I wrote my dissertation on it was on Che Guevara and his early travels.
mm.
And I spent a long time. I didn't really know Guatemala back then. I hadn't heard of it, which is probably shameful on my part. But then I